Watch what happens when a coach first meets an AI coaching platform. If their instinct is to argue against it, I want to know why. Before a coach defends anything, the first move is to see what these platforms actually do. They reach people who would never have had a coaching conversation at all. That matters enough to say clearly before we say anything else. I am a coach and a coach trainer. You might expect me to be skeptical of these platforms by default. So let me tell you why I am starting here instead. If your first reaction to an AI coaching platform is to push back, that is worth examining. Not because it is wrong, but because you should know what is driving it. Look squarely at what these platforms do well first. Then you have earned the right to talk about their limits. Let me name something directly and then set it aside. There is a difference between a market argument and an ethical argument, and coaches blur them constantly. A market argument says these platforms threaten my profession, my livelihood, my territory. That may be a real concern, but it is about competition. An ethical argument asks something else entirely. Does this cause harm, or does it serve people who would otherwise go unserved? When a coach argues against AI platforms but is actually defending their market position, the client feels the mismatch. Conflating the two does not protect your credibility. It quietly spends it. So let's make the access case honestly. There are people who could genuinely benefit from coaching support and will never book a session with a human coach. For some, it is cost. For some, geography. Skilled coaches cluster in cities. For some, stigma. And for many, awareness. They have never encountered coaching at all. Now picture an AI coaching platform, available at 11 at night from a phone at no cost, serving someone who has never had a structured conversation about their goals. That is more than nothing. In many real cases, substantially more. Here is the move that decides whether your thinking holds up. You have to read the comparison correctly. When the comparison is an AI coaching platform versus a human coach, the human coach wins on every dimension that matters. Deep relationship, cultural nuance, real accountability, no contest. But that is often not the comparison in play. When it is an AI coaching platform versus no reflective conversation at all, the calculus changes entirely. A coach who misreads which comparison is real will make the wrong argument with full confidence. Let me make this a person. Consider a first-generation professional. Their family never had access to career mentorship. Their manager does not coach. Their network does not include anyone who has thought carefully about goals and development. They find a free AI coaching app and use it once a week for 3 months. They learn to reflect on their week. They find language for ambitions they had never said aloud. And they finally start a conversation with their manager they had been avoiding for 2 years. Was that coaching in the full ICF sense? No. Did it help? Substantially. A coach who tells that person their experience was not real coaching is not being honest. They are protecting a definition. Before we move on, pause the video and think this through. Think of people who could benefit from coaching, people you know or can easily imagine who would never book a session with a human coach. What is in the way for them? Cost, access, simply not knowing coaching exists? Now the real question, if an AI coaching app reached those people and helped them, even imperfectly, would you want it to exist? Answer it for yourself before you go further. That answer is the line that separates a principled position from a defensive one. So let me bring this to a point. The coach who can say, I have thought carefully about these platforms, and here is what they genuinely get right. That is the coach whose critique of their limits will actually land. The coach who dismisses them from line one sounds defensive. The client knows it. They hear protectionism, even dressed as concern. We have made the case honestly. Now we can look at the limits. And these are not the limits of it is not as good as a real coach. These are structural deficiencies, things an AI coaching platform cannot do by design, and they map directly onto the competencies we named in Unit 3.1. So let's look at them precisely.